The story of the Unnamed SMP is a strange one. With friendship, rivalry, chaos, and destruction, there's a lot to cover. The Unnamed SMP influenced several small players and allowed for a fun place for friends to play Minecraft. With the somewhat recent deletion, these YouTubers have been lacking their normal views. What is the Unnamed SMP? How did it get to where it is today? And most importantly, why? I will be covering all of this in the rise, fall, rise again, and decay of the Unnamed SMP. On August 27th, 2020, a YouTuber and Twitch streamer called Chicken Charm made an SMP that was yet to be named. Chicken Charm was known for his Minecraft, Roblox, and Dog of Wisdom videos. His quirky attitude and somewhat random actions made him grow on YouTube. That and because he got 75,000 views by copy and pasting. Chicken Charm was somewhat in desperate need of content and just wanted to have fun. He created the SMP that had no name. Chicken Charm would be the owner of the server and he would not allow anyone else to be an operator. The idea was mainly inspired by the Dream SMP and Hermitcraft. He wanted the SMP to be a nice and relaxing place where his friends could have fun. Little did he know, it would become something horrible in the months to come. For now though, the players on the SMP advanced a bit into the game. Everyone sort of lived together in one area. Chicken named this area the Outback, and it would serve as a place for any new member to stay in. However, the SMP grew dim, and people began to lose interest in it. Even Chicken stopped playing for a bit. However, that would all change when a player on the SMP named Markle would invite his friends onto the SMP. Chicken constantly said that he wanted more and more people to be on the server. Chicken got his wish as one day he found 3 players online. Markle and his 2 friends were on the server, however, things weren't right. Markle told his friends to stop and left when Chicken joined. Chicken TP'd to the 2 players and found them griefing all of the Outback. Chicken banned both of them and temporarily banned Markle in case. He gave everyone diamond blocks for their troubles and repaired everything. Chicken thought this was good enough, which it was. However, this would be the first conflict on the server. Before it was just fun and games, but now, it's different. The griefing of the Outback caused many new players to start the game. Some of these players included me, Mayday, Weebichu, Dropmaster, etc. The server was more alive than ever. With the recent surge of players, Chicken believed it time to do something about it. Everyone was just running around the Outback doing whatever they wanted. So Chicken had an idea of creating a government.
Capitalism.
He would run for president and let other SMP members run as well. He talked to a few people and decided to make Weebichu his vice. Weebichu wanted to give the Outback a proper name, so he came up with Akashi, named after an anime character he liked. If Chicken were to win the next election, the Outback would be renamed to Akashi, Chicken's main rival. Ninja Cheetah was on the SMP since the beginning. She was one of the most active players. She wanted something greater, something more powerful. She wanted to prove to Chicken that she was superior. What better way than to beat him in a head-to-head battle for total country control? However, it wasn't just Chicken and Ninja running for president. No, there was something far worse than both. Someone who had the chance to win 100 times over. Someone more powerful than both of them. so much stronger, richer, and oh, who am I kidding? It was me. I joined the SMP at the start, but never played on it much. Before the griefers came, I found 2 pink sheep in a plains biome next to each other. One tragically died while traveling over a hill, but the other one lived. The sheep went into a hole that I made. I dubbed it Hole Sheep, and the place that I stood at, the Holy Land. Then the griefers came and destroyed my house. However, Whole Sheep was still safe, and I took it as a sign from the universe to keep Whole Sheep. Chicken never gave me the diamond blocks, as I was a few hundred blocks away from the outback. Then, one day, Weebichu, Chicken's vice, entered my house, pulled from his inventory a blue dye, and dyed Whole Sheep a blue. I logged back online the next day to see that Whole Sheep was blue. I dyed Whole Sheep back to pink and did some mining, and then left for the day. The next day, I log on to find that Whole Sheep was nothing more than mutton and blue wool. Weebichu confessed to dyeing Whole Sheep blue originally, but never confessed to killing him. Someone must have dyed Whole Sheep blue again, and then decided to slaughter Whole Sheep altogether. This made me sad. Weebichu was the most likely candidate for the killing, and so, to ruin Weebichu's odds, I ran for president. As a joke. I didn't want to win the election. Heck, I didn't even live in the outback. I didn't care if I got no votes or 10 votes. And now with the candidates in place, the voting began. I moved to a faraway land where I established Cello Trade. Cello Trade was a trading corporation in which people could buy enchanted books for diamonds. My village was a secret, and only Mayday, who was in my business, knew about it. Until one day, Ninja Cheetah found my portal while mining quartz, stole my villagers, told Chicken about it, and had Chicken build a grand quartz road to my secret village while I was eating lunch. I took down the road, but Ninja still had cords to the place, so I never had full control of the enchanted book market. But whatever. Ninja, despite being rich and powerful, realized that she wasn't winning the election, so she decided to invite her Discord server onto the SMP. The SMP had a surge of new players, even greater than the previous. However, 2 players stood out from the pack. These 2 players were Coldjolt and Epic Zoomer. Epic Zoomer, or Evan, was a big friend with me and Mayday outside of the SMP, so naturally, I would let him into Cello Trade's business. However, he renamed my horse Whole Horse to Hee Hee Hours. This made me livid. I kicked Evan out, and he was now homeless. With nowhere else to go, he headed to the one place where he could find hospitality. No, not the outback. Not a place in solitude. A place far away from everywhere else. A place run by someone more powerful than everyone else on the server combined. You either love him or hate him. He's the guy that has way too much time on his hands. He's the guy who has riches beyond belief. He's the guy with no mic and a Mandalorian profile picture. Cue Coldjolt. Coldjolt is an absolute madman. Coldjolt has way too much time on his hands, and Coldjolt decided to no-life the Unnamed SMP. He single-handedly shot his way past all of the richest players tenfold. This man is no joke. If you mess with Coldjolt, you're in for a treat. Evan fled to Coldjolt where he was given some stuff. He later came back to Cello Trade to kill Whole Horse. With Whole Horse dead, Cello Trade collapsed from the inside. Mayday left Cello Trade to join Coldjolt. However, because we were allies, Mayday convinced Coldjolt to get rid of our bloody past. Together, we became allies as I fled to a faraway place once again. On November 11, 2020, Ninja Cheetah asked me through DMs if I were to be interested in pooling votes with her. I said yes, but we would negotiate the terms later. However, that later never came. As the pooling choice slowly got pushed to the back of our minds, a war broke out. Ninja Cheetah stole 5 netherite ingots from Coldjolt and said that she would return them. Ninja didn't see a problem in this as Coldjolt had stacks of the stuff. But Coldjolt was pissed off. Coldjolt vowed to destroy Ninja's most prized possession, Tater. Tater was Ninja's beloved horse. She loved the horse so much, and when she found out that Coldjolt had placed a bounty on Tater's leather, she hid him. Tater was hidden in a mountain far away from the outback. However, a few days later, Ninja took Tater out into the sun once more, only to be killed by Coldjolt himself. Soon after, war broke out. Dropmaster, Ninja's vice, was led to Evan's house by Mayday. Thinking that it was Coldjolt's house, he griefed it. In war, griefing was fine, so he griefed Evan's house thinking it was Coldjolt's. Evan logged on to see his house in ruins. He joined the war on Koljal's side, and after Koljal murdered Dropmaster's llamas and Evan griefed Ninja's shops and house, the war ended, and the election continued. The presidential speeches would happen. Chicken made his speech about why the citizens should vote for him, Ninja made her speech about why the citizens shouldn't vote for Chicken, and I pooped on the stage. The election was coming soon. With the election so close, everyone began to grow anxious over who would win. Chicken believed he would win, Ninja believed she would beat Chicken, and I believed I would get 1 vote. The voting started, and when it ended, Chicken had 7, Ninja had 5, and I had 3. Chicken was now the new president, for about 3 minutes. Ninja brought up the fact that we did agree to pool the votes. If we did pool the votes, we would beat Chicken by 1. However, I never truly said yes to it, and so we took it to the courthouse. During the court case, Ninja mainly spoke, giving me time to think of a plan. I never truly said yes, nor did I ever truly say no. The message could have been taken several ways, and so during the court case, I edited the message to say yes. Why was this moment important? Well, the player who never wanted power, the player who didn't really care, the player who was tossed around and just wanted to have a good time, had control of the outcome of the server. If he edited the message, Dunzo goes the election, and Chicken becomes the president of Akashi. But if Cello kept the message as is, he could rule over the Outback and become one of the most powerful people on the server. All of that power in his hands, and he chose to toss it away.
Cello?
Here, I would like to say,
I
never said yes. I'm just kind of going along with this.
Oh.
You never said yes.
This is just a server for fun. I never said anything.
It was like, we agreed.
And that was it. Chicken became president, the Outback was renamed to the Great City of Akashi, GCA for short, and things went back to normal. Before the election results and before the Tater War, 2 unnamed SMP members you've probably heard about played on the server. These 2 people, Nico PvP and Crimson. Both Nico and Crimson had a very diabolical mindset. They established the Unnamed SMP Mafia together. They stole items, griefed houses, and caused a bunch of chaos on the server. They constantly bent the rules of the server. How about we talk about those rules? There were 3 main rules on the server. These 3 rules were no hacking, no being annoying, and finally, no griefing, yet stealing is allowed. The Mafia took this rule and twisted it too much. Chicken defines griefing as destroying or placing a large amount of unwanted blocks in a common area. He defines stealing as taking one's items or blocks for personal gain. The Unnamed SMP Mafia took this and bent it. Was killing a pet considered griefing? The Mafia took all of this and manipulated it into their favor. The Mafia ruled over the SMP's riches. One day, Evan and Mayday had had enough. They were going to destroy the Mafia once and for all. After the Mafia killed one of Markle's pets, Evan and Mayday went into the Mafia base. They were invisible with potions, however Mayday got caught, and Evan was forced to raid the rest. He stormed through the base, stealing things until he too was caught. Chicken Charm realized what was happening and banned both Nico and Crimson. The Mafia was disbanded, and the people slowly began to forget about them and their plans for world domination. Now that we have talked about the Mafia, let's talk about Koljal. I previously said that he was the richest. What was he doing with all the riches? Well, him and Evan created the Sugarcane Isle Nation. The Sugarcane Isle Nation was probably Chicken's greatest threat. However, the Isles quickly fell apart. The GCA was very intimidating, and the Isles was getting stolen from when none of its members were online. The Isle was really close to GCA, making it easy for people to steal from. Koljal relocated to a new area away from the GCA and named it the Kingdom of the Shronks. Chicken built a house in the kingdom, but never lived there permanently. While Koljal made money by grinding, Mayday, Evan, and I had different ideas. Mayday made the Netherite shop, which was the most profitable shop on the SMP to this day. However, the close second was the disc shop. The disc shop was a massive success. Run by Evan, Mayday, and I, the disc shop was insane for making money. Every night we would go onto the desert to get skeletons to shoot creepers. We would sell all the discs for around 20 diamonds per Minecraft day. The disc shop made racks. The disc shop was closed down due to stealing and its owners not paying the taxes they owed to the government, despite no other shop needing to pay taxes. This was because the shop was set a bit too close to the White House. The disc shop made money. It made friendship, but most importantly, it made worth. Chicken was growing disappointed in Weebichu. He didn't show up for his own inauguration, never played anymore, and never responded to messages. Chicken was losing faith in Weebichu, and after Chicken saw how 3 people could change the minds of all of GCA into paying for simple music discs, he realized he had to do something. He secretly fired Weebichu and talked to both me and Mayday about whether we would be interested in becoming the next vice of Akashi. If Mayday became vice, he would betray Kojold. If I became vice, I would betray Kojold. And if there's one rule that isn't actually a rule, it's that you don't mess with Kojold. It is unknown what Mayday said to Chicken's proposal, but I told Chicken that I would think about it. I went back to my country and began to build my house. Kojold helped me build the house and I realized I couldn't betray him. When my house was finished, I told Chicken that I could not be his vice and moved on. However, Chicken found a new person. A person that wouldn't be his vice, but a person that would be his friend. A person that wanted revenge and bloodshed. Nico PvP. Nico was unbanned and instantly tried to re-establish the Mafia. This ended in Chicken finding him. Chicken told Nico that he needed his job done, and the two of them visited the Kingdom of the Shronks. Chicken, seeing all of Kojold's stuff, wanted to do something about it. Then it came to him. He could just steal it. He stole all of the stuff and burnt it. Kojold took the burning of his items as a personal attack, and so, with the TNT he had left, he blew up Akashi. Weebichu Cannon died during the bombing, and Chicken fled from GCA to take refuge in my island nation. Chicken, tired of war and despair, resigned from office, and Akashi became a place of wasteland. Huge craters filled Akashi, and almost nothing was left. Hours of work was gone. The citizens wanted to re-establish a government, but they had no country to govern. It seemed like the SMP was going to die. One of its members, Bored, couldn't take it anymore. He killed himself in a cannon live and became a ghost. However, just as it ended, it began again. The Akashi citizens began to get a grip on reality. If they wanted the SMP to continue, they had to rebuild the nations. Almost every nation on the server was a wasteland, so over the next few weeks, Akashi slowly transformed from the simple village nation to a massive city with huge buildings. This was mostly thanks to Nico, who set aside his violent ways in favor of helping the community. Board was also revised by Chicken Charm. As for the Kingdom of the Shronks, it was left deserted. The kingdom members moved away to a new location known to them as Squawburg. Squawburg was a village nation on a plains biome. The village had few players but cool buildings. Chicken eventually moved out of my island in favor of a small island off the coast of a spruce biome. There he crashed and was finally at peace. The server became peaceful. Map artists began to pop up. One such map artist, Creative Melody, created a country called Ensgate. A few other small nations popped up, such as Zabeling, however most of them were short-lived. Now that the GCA was rebuilt, it was time for a government once again. Chicken Charm was still the server owner. He wanted some authority over the GCA, but not too much. So him and Ninja Cheetah teamed up to make Kara 2020. Ninja would be president and Chicken would be vice. There were a few other candidates, but the only other big competitors were Macaroni 2020 and Board 2020. Markle as president and Nico as his vice. Tensions were high in the Unnamed SMP. Everyone was talking behind each other's backs. My floating island nation was blown up by an anonymous person, and I relocated to a new place I would call Soxtenberg. The election happened, Carrot won, and that was it.
Anyone got a flint and steel? I need to burn these boats.
Ninja's the new president.
Why is this here? What happened to my shop?
Yeah,
Isn't the head in death?
But only if you watch Chicken Charm. If you only watch Chicken Charm, then you will know that Ninja and Chicken won the election and lived happily ever after. However, the true ending to the SMP was much worse than this. A much more horrible ending. But before the ending, we need to take care of some leftovers. second election ended and Ninja became president. You would think that the SMP would die down on a good note. However, this was far from the case. The SMP was about to end, but in a horrible way. Chicken was constantly getting stressed over the SMP. Several people began to stop playing, and those who still played thought the server to be dead. Chicken took out all of his feelings on the players, who understood what Chicken had to do, but never wanted the server to be gone. On January 14th, 2021, the SMP was officially privated due to the stress and lack of self-esteem it caused on Chicken. The server would soon be forgotten. That is, until just 8 days later, when it was reopened by Chicken, and he claimed that he had no life anyways. Because the players on the SMP knew what Chicken could do to their beloved SMP, they played. The SMP had players once again, playing and enjoying. However, tension was still growing on the server. A massive war would break out sooner or later. The players wanted to stall that war at all costs, starting with the Blue Fire tournament in Soxtenberg. This tournament had several players duke it out in a March Madness style tournament for the powers of Blue Fire. The Blue Fire held powers beyond belief, including the powers of flight. Quick side note, the real reason I can fly in survival was because I was using a glitch that can only be present on laggy servers called elytra canceling. However, saying that the Blue Fire was the source of my power would be much cooler. Almost every player fought in the Blue Fire tournament. Mayday came up on top and entered the month-long period in which the Blue Fire powers will be transferred. The next thing up on the chopping block, the destruction of the meme room. The meme room was a room created by map artists such as Creative Melody. The maps would resemble a meme. The meme room was destroyed and Markle got most of the blame for it. Markle had been tossed around for the entire SMP. He brought in griefers, lost the election, and now was being blamed for the destruction of the meme room. He couldn't take it anymore and jumped, losing his canon life. Now that the leftovers are done, let's get to the end. Squawberg and Akashi had heaps of tension. The tension grew day after day after day. With constant war threats from both sides, war was soon to break out. On February 1st, it did. I was invited to visit Squawberg by Koljalt. A few other players were online, including Sky__, Mayday, Evan, and Markle, who was the soul inside of a body. Everyone online was at Squawberg, except Ninja Cheetah. Ninja wanted in on the fun and she asked if she could visit Squawberg. Koljalt said no, as they had tension between each other. Ninja kept on asking, and Koljalt kept on saying no. Ninja grew angry and teleported to Koljalt in Squawberg. Koljalt was quick to kill Ninja, but she kept on teleporting. Countless times, Koljalt told Ninja to stop, but she never did. She kept on teleporting and dying. This back and forth continued for 10 minutes until Ninja Cheetah stood still one time and then did it again. The killing and teleporting continued. Then the grass turned to TNT, and the Squawberg members were horrified. Ninja threatened to set off the TNT if the members didn't let her live. The Squawberg citizens tried to kill Ninja, but she was in creative mode. The members broke the TNT, but Ninja was still there. With the push of her enter key, she can blow up all of Squawberg. Citizens thought this to be very unfair, seeing that she was an operator. However, Ninja knew that this was unfair. She would not use her operator powers too much, as it would definitely be unfair. Until I did something that made Ninja rethink. I used the elytra cancel glitch to fly. Seeing this, she wondered how I could do it. Evan said that I was operator on the server. I said multiple times in chat that I was not. However, Ninja did not see my messages. In one swift movement, Squawberg was reduced to rubble. Everyone was teleported to the GCA by Ninja, in which Markle was scared for his horse, and Ninja went on a rampage killing people in creative mode. Markle tried to get back to his horse when everyone was /killed. The server was shut down by Chicken remotely and the SMP ceased to exist. Throughout the whole experience, you would think Ninja to be the antagonist. However, this was far from the truth. Throughout the war, Mayday was secretly hoping that Ninja would blow up Squawburg. It gave Chicken a reason to ban Ninja, and he always had a schematic. Mayday would go time after time again to try and tell Evan that the destruction of Squawburg was good. He also hid the fact that he had a schematic of Squawburg. So really, it depends on how you look at it to determine who the bad guy really is. Chicken said that he was tired of the server and its burdens. He wanted to pass off ownership to someone else if one more bad thing happened. He reopened the server on February 6th. However, ignoring the warning, Evan blew up the GCA. The GCA was reduced to dust and vapor. Both big nations now defeated. Ownership of the server was transferred to Board, and things weren't looking too hot for the SMP. Evan was permanently banned from the Unnamed SMP, and Chicken left. The SMP now only had two nations. Those two nations were Sogstenburg and Ensgate. However, Sogstenburg would die out as I stopped playing. On March 4th, 2021, with one click of the mouse, hundreds of hours wasted, and the Unnamed SMP was deleted. The Unnamed SMP has brought many people close together and apart. There was friendship, backstabbery, and creative minds all over the place. Several hundred hours were sunk into the Unnamed SMP, and now that it's gone, I'm ready to say my final goodbyes.
So I decided to make my own SMP server, and this is my first time on the server. I would probably run for governor. Yeah, I'd say I'd win. Don't you think? Because I do own the server. I could run for governor.
War. No one likes it. Well, some people do. But it's not very fun, is it?
Akashi gets elected president, which I get elected. Akashi wins the election. That's it. Dude, silence really interests me, honest with you. But I'm gonna show something that they have, and I'm allies with these people. This is literally like, Nico, do you wanna? What if we just took his war supplies?
Is Logan with 1 vote, Melanie/J with 2 votes, Marco with 8 votes, and Kara 2020 with 13 votes, which makes Ninja's the new president.
President!
A bunch of other YouTubers brought me closer to those people. The server was fun. I'm really gonna miss it. Really am. I wanted to thank Chicken and everyone. Yes.
So I decided to make my own SMP server, and this is my first time on the server, and some other people were on it before me, so I had to catch up.
The member Divine made a Discord server called the Unnamed Community, in which the Unnamed SMP members could chill and have fun. And that's where everyone is today. The SMP has taught us all some very valuable lessons. Don't say you're gonna make a government, it will end badly. Don't name a horse using incorrect spelling, it will end badly. Don't learn how to fly, it will end badly. And finally, don't mess with Cold Jolt, it will end badly. Thank you.